This is a special edition of the GuestX podcast coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, from the Phocuswright Summit, where we will be speaking to the leading hospitality executives to understand how they are building the best guest experience worth talking about.
Welcome to a very special edition of the GuestX podcast. Yes, live from, we're live. They're probably not watching this live. That's been a point of contention. We are live. And we're actually videoing this one like we did at Vitor. 2 weeks ago? We're in Spain. Today in Fort Lauderdale at probably the biggest travel conference in the world.
At least this year.
For sure. I mean, you've got, WTM in London, right? There's a couple others, some international events, but this one is definitely one of the biggest. So, really excited. This is one of those conferences, Brian, you and I have talked about where you're getting to see startups. You competed here.
I did, and I loved it.
Wait,
you competed here too.
Yes, and we both got our. Let's keep it PG. Our butts handed to us, but you get to see some of the best startups, right, competing against each other. You get to see the biggest players in travel, Marriott, Booking, Airbnb, all these, Expedia, of course, all these great companies, and you get to see them all in one place talking about where travel's going, and it's all about the research that Phocuswright does to provide around the industry, I guess, and then provide to the industry so the industry can plan for where it's going. There's really nothing like it.
No. For me, Phocuswright is especially, it's a special place. You get to meet leading executives in the industry. So it's not just a conference for travel tourism. You actually get to sit down, you get to do some real networking with some of the top executives, pick their brains, and walk out with great ideas. And a lot of people forget, this is really the place where a lot of these companies start. So innovation starts here, and with some of the checks and help of funding and through some of the networking. Some of the big companies that we see in our industry right now have started right here at Phocuswright and gained some notoriety.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk with one of them here is our very first guest we're going to do later this afternoon, but I think Beyond Pricing competed in, I hate to keep bringing it up, but competed in one. Did they win?
Yeah, so Ian and I sat in the same conference room. I looked at Ian and I said, "Are you nervous?" He said, "Nope." He went out on stage, absolutely kicked butt.
Just crushed
and it was my first time on a big stage with a bunch of people. Had people like Carl Shepard in the audience and some other booking executives. So it was a lot of fun, but I got my butt handed to me.
And for those who don't know, there are no teleprompters.
No.
They're for these CEOs. You have to get up and just give it off the top of your head to a panel and to some of the biggest venture capital, private equity, growth capital firms in the world are in the audience, and you just got to get. So it is not easy.
No. And if you haven't done a presentation like that, going through your slides and hoping that it all works well, which it didn't, and then having to basically go off the cuff, it's an experience. It's a lot of fun, and if you make it through, you learn from that experience. You take it to the next conference, and you do things that we're doing today.
So let's talk about what we're going to try to do. We're here for a couple of days.
Yep.
We're going to try to, I think a lot like we did at Vitor, we want to bring together people, get their take on where we're at as far as guest experience and hospitality within the hospitality industry, where we're going to be going. But I think one of the things that you and I are really targeting is to get everything from the really big players and what they are doing and what they're working on, all the way down to these startups. And we really want to try to hear from people at all stages.
Let's learn. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, part of the podcast, the initial thought process was we wanted to learn everything about guest experience, how people view it. This is the perfect place to do it.
It is, and I can hear them on the other side of the wall back there. They're already, I think the opening remarks are about to get going. So it should be a lot of fun for the next couple of days.
So we're going to head over there,
Yes.
and we'll be back with our first guest here shortly.